Okay, let's take a look at problem 1-33, preparing financial statements for 2 complete accounting cycles, but we're only going to focus on the transactions for 2018. Okay, we've got Marks Consulting, and they experienced the following transactions for 2018, its first year of operations, and 2019. And assume all transactions involve the receipt or payment of cash. Okay, so what we need to do for 2018 is stated right here. We're going to record the effects of each accounting event under the appropriate heading for the year 2018. We're going to record the amount of revenue, expense, and dividends in the retained earnings column, and then provide appropriate titles for these accounts in the last column. Now, I'm only going to work a couple of these for you. I think we have 5 transactions. I'll work number 2 and number 3 for you. So let's focus on number 2. Number 1, number 4, and 5, you're going to have to figure out which columns it falls under. And remember, the accounting equation always has to stay in balance. So assets have to equal liabilities plus stockholders' equity at the end of every transaction. All right, so number 2 says received $125,000 cash for providing services to customers. All right, well, cash is going to increase by $125,000, and then the other side of the accounting equation that falls is an increase in retained earnings, and the account we would use is revenue. Now remember, retained earnings increases when we have revenues. Sales would be an example of a revenue account. Consulting services would be another example of a revenue. Retained earnings will decrease whenever we have an expense. Okay? And retained earnings will also decrease if we pay a dividend. So we have a distribution to owners. If it was a corporation, we'd call that a dividend. Okay, so number 2, received $125,000 for cash. We see how it's handled. How about number 3? We borrowed $21,000 cash from creditors. Well, cash is going to increase by $21,000, and so will a liability. And in this case, the liability we will use would be called notes payable, $21,000. Okay, so now you need to take care of transactions 1, 4, and 5. And remember, you only are listing the account titles if retained earnings is impacted. If it's not, just put NA and you're good to go.